Swipe if you get scared easy, because I have another paranormal submission that was sent to me via email and we're gonna sit down and read it right now. What got me about this email in particular is the subject. It read, "Please read this. I don't know who else to tell." Well, let's get to reading. Hi Casey, I've been debating on sending this to you for probably 3 or 4 months. I follow you religiously on TikTok and I get really excited every time that you post one of yours, send me your stories. Every time I open up my drafts, but then I chicken out. So I'm just gonna type this out and hit send before I talk myself out of it again. You can call me Hannah in the video. I would really like to stay anonymous. I'm from Moosup, Connecticut. If I say that wrong, please correct me. If you've never heard of it, don't feel bad. Most people haven't. It's a little village tucked into an eastern part of the state. Think old mill town, lots of woods, the kind of place where everybody knows whose car is in the driveway. And that part matters, I promise. I live alone. I bought my house about 1.5 years ago. First place that I ever had that was just mine, so I was super obsessed with it. Little 2-bedroom off of a back road, big yard, woods that go on forever behind the property line. The previous owner was an older woman who passed away in the home. Her family sold it as is. I didn't care, and I got it under asking, so I felt like I hit the lottery, because you know how expensive buying houses is these days. The first few months were completely normal, literally nothing out of the usual. But then I started noticing my dog. I have a shepherd mix named Rue, sweetest thing on earth, never barked at anything, not even the mailman, not thunder, nothing. But around late September, he started doing this thing where he would sit at the bottom of the stairs and he would just stare up. Not bark, not whine, just stare. Sometimes it would be for 20 minutes. It wasn't something that was brief. I would call him and he wouldn't move. And he's always been so obedient and would run right to me when I say his name. But this time he just wouldn't. He'd just tilt his head like he was listening to something. I told myself there's got to be mice in the attic. You know, he can hear better than me. There's something in these old walls that he hears that I just can't. I even paid a guy to come check. Nothing. No droppings, no nests, no chew marks. He said the attic was cleaner than most of the attics he sees, especially for a home this old. Then the smell started. Only in the guest bedroom. Only at night, and only sometimes. It smelled like pennies and wet laundry. I would open up the door in the morning and it would be gone. I burned candles. I bought one of those plug-in things that goes off every once in a while. I convinced myself that it was one of the vents. In November, I woke up around 3 a.m. because Rue was growling, low in his chest. It was deep, the kind of growl I didn't even know it was possible for him to make. He was standing at the foot of my bed facing the hallway. My bedroom door was open, which was normal. I always sleep with it open. Pause. Girl, close that damn door. We'll talk about that later. Sleep with it open so he can get out to his water bowl. I looked down the hallway. The guest bedroom door, which I keep closed, was also open. And there was a woman, clear as day, standing in the doorway. I want to be so clear about this because I've replayed it 1,000 times. She was not see-through. She was not glowing. She was not floating. She looked like a person, like a regular, real person. Older, maybe 70s, wearing a nightgown, gray hair down past her shoulders. She was just standing there with her hands at her sides, looking at me. I didn't know how to read her. She wasn't angry. She wasn't sad. She was just looking. I couldn't move though. I couldn't scream. I've heard people say that, and I always thought that was dramatic, but I swear to you, my body would not respond to me no matter how many times I kept telling myself to move. I could feel my hands shaking. I could see that she was taking a step in the hallway, one step toward my room. I also could see my phone lighting up on the nightstand out of the corner of my eye. Not a notification sound, just the screen turning on. Finally, I was able to move my neck, and when I looked back, she was gone. I didn't sleep the rest of the night. I sat there with every light on until the sun came up. The next morning, I told myself I dreamed it. I'm a rational person. I really am. I Googled sleep paralysis, which I actually see you talking about a lot on your page, which is one of the things that really motivated me to send you this message. Interesting seeing how many people who have experienced this also have experienced paranormal situations. I tried to make it make sense in my head, and I moved on until a few weeks later. I was going through a box of paperwork the previous owner's family left in the basement. There was property records, old tax stuff. They told me I could toss whatever I wanted. In the bottom of a box, I found this small photo album, and I flipped through it because honestly, I'm nosy. There was a picture of her, the woman, identical, the same face, the same long gray hair. She was standing in what I now know is my guest bedroom, wearing the nightgown. Somebody had written on the back of the photo in pen, and it said, "Mom, the night before." I don't know what the night before what meant. I do not want to know. I've not slept in that room since. Yes, I still live there. I keep that door closed and I put a chair in front of it, which I know sounds insane, but I sleep better knowing it's there. Rue still sits at the bottom of the stairs sometimes. He still stares. And no, I'm not moving, which also really made me think of your page, because people think you're crazy when you say that your parents still live in the house that is haunted where you had so many crazy experiences. I definitely applaud you for trying to get to the bottom of it. I kind of want to start the same sort of journey in this house. I want to know why I saw her. Why is she there? And truthfully, I can't afford to move. I just needed to tell somebody who wouldn't look at me like I'm crazy. If you use this, please don't say my real name. Just Hannah from Moose Up is fine. Thank you for reading this. I feel a little lighter just typing it out. Hannah. Few thoughts when I read this. And first of all, thank you so much for sharing your story and trusting me to share it on my page. I want to say that I think everybody kind of thinks that sometimes, you know, they're like, why wouldn't somebody move? Why wouldn't somebody move? And the thing is, people don't realize, like, you could live in a brand new house, the property could be haunted. You know, we naturally live in a space where there just are spirits. And especially for people who are intuitive and empathic, I genuinely believe that energy is going to follow them wherever they go. If you guys follow me, you know that's something that has happened to me my entire life. I also really understand you wanting to know the why. That is exactly why I continue to dig and dig and dig and dig about my parents' house and property. I don't know why I have this internal instinct to like solve something, figure something out, but I just do. I think it's very important to note that you didn't feel malice when you saw her. I think seeing anything spiritually can be scary because it feels abnormal, but not every spirit is menacing or is evil or is bad. And I honestly think that a lot of times the kinder spirits are the ones that kind of give you the heavier feeling of wanting to figure something out, of like wanting to know, because it feels like there's something unfinished, something they want you to know. Definitely respect that you're staying and that you're wanting to know more things. I'll message you sending you the links to some of those sites that have helped me out, and I wish you luck in your journey. Thank you again so much for sharing. If you guys want to send your own personal experience to me, the email located in my bio of this page is where you can send your story for a chance for me to be able to read it on here. You can choose to say who you are. You can choose to stay anonymous, whatever is more comfortable for you. And if you're new here and you want to hear more scary stories, make sure to go ahead and give me a follow. You guys let me know in the comments what you thought about Hannah's experience. What are your opinions? Have you ever experienced something similar? As always, thank you for watching. Love you, bye.
I have a scary story to tell you, sent in by a follower, and she has evidence. My name is Maria, and I'm from Romania. At the time that this happened, I was working the night shift at a courier company sorting parcels. We had a company car that would drop us off at home after work. My house is down a quiet country road, only about 4 minutes from the highway. On the right side of the road, a neighbor keeps several old abandoned cars. Every night, I would be dropped off at exactly 1:20 a.m., and I would walk the rest of the way home by myself. One night, before I even got out of the car, I felt something off, like I wasn't alone. I couldn't explain it, but the feeling was strong, like there was another presence nearby. Before I started walking, I took a quick picture down the road. Then I turned on my phone's flashlight and hurried home as fast as I could. When I got inside, I looked at the photo. At first, I didn't notice anything unusual, but when I brightened the image, I saw something that made my heart drop. Near one of the old trucks, there was a figure. A child, short and standing still, wearing a white shirt. He had blonde hair, but the eyes looked completely black, and the mouth was wide open. Since that night, I haven't felt safe walking that road alone. Sometimes I've taken more pictures and I've noticed other strange shapes appearing in them too. I don't know what they are. I often call my parents to stay on the phone with me while I walk home now, even though it only takes 4 minutes, because ever since that night, it feels like I'm not walking alone anymore.
If you're not into really creepy stories about the paranormal, literally just scroll past this video. But if you are, I have a truly scary paranormal story for you. So this happened to me 2 years ago when I went on a birthday trip to Las Vegas. And basically, I really wanted to see this place called the Mob Museum. I was literally fascinated. I was like, I have to see it. and I'm really into forensics, and the organized crime stuff sounded interesting, so I wanted to go. So I go to the mob museum. It is 3 floors. I start at the first floor, I look all around, I go to the second floor, I look all around, and before I get to the third floor, I realize it is 10 minutes until closing, and my mom's like, hey, just meet me downstairs, you go ahead. So I continue up these stairs to the third floor, and when I get up there, I'm the only one there. There's no one up there, which was fine with me. I'm actually thinking at the time, this is awesome, like no one's in my way, I can just make my little round and head out. So when I get up there, I look kind of to the left, and there's a room where there's like a purple, real groovy looking couch, real groovy looking living room setup, and I'm thinking, oh, that looks cool, so I walk in there. Immediately when I walk in there, I just don't feel right. I don't know how to explain it. I don't feel great. Like, I just feel off. It felt like I just suddenly was like, came over with like just this creeped out feeling for some reason, and I didn't know why, because I was just admiring this like real unique looking living room setup they had going on up there. That was until I look over to the right, and I notice that there is a whole wall with a display of very graphic crime scene photos, and that wasn't the problem, okay? Like, I've seen crime scene photos, I've taken classes in forensics and stuff, but these pictures, I've never seen pictures like that displayed like that on a wall, framed with plaques underneath. I was just kind of like, I don't know. I started thinking that was why I felt off initially when I walked in the room. I was like, I don't know. I felt like the way that those people were being displayed was just like not respectful to the deceased. So my intuition was telling me, don't participate in this madness. Like, literally, let's just go. Let's just leave. So despite what my intuition was probably telling me, I'm literally thinking, I don't know, I kept gaslighting myself. I was like, maybe it's because the pictures, and I basically swallow the lump in my throat, and I'm like, no, I'm going into forensics. I have to be able to handle this. So I go up to the wall to look at all these pictures and the like stories of these people. I only looked at a couple that were on the very right side. I read like a couple of them. And then one of the other pictures from like over here somewhere caught my eye because it looked so old. It was like so saturated and so black and white that I was like, this looks like maybe the oldest picture on this wall. So I look at that picture. It's a real graphic crime scene of a man. I cannot say anything else about it on this app. So I go up to this picture, I'm looking at it, and at some point I go to read the plaque. So I move my eyes down from the photo, and as soon as I'm not even joking, as soon as I start reading this guy's name, dude, bro, as I'm reading his name, feel an energy rise behind me. Like, it felt like a tall person was like standing behind me or something, and I don't know how to explain why I felt like this specifically, but it felt like something was like hovering over me. Like, I don't know how to explain. I mean, it was just horrifying. It felt like something was like looking down at me, and I immediately feel like frozen. Like, the hairs on the back of my neck are standing up. I have chills up and down my spine. I am not good. And I start booking it out of that room, and I'm surprised I didn't literally full sprint jump down those freaking stairs, but something kept telling me like, don't run or I'm gonna give off like more fear, more energy of fear. I was fully doused in fear. It probably would have made no difference, but I get down to the first floor. So I finally get down on the first floor, and I have to go down this entire corridor, like this entire hallway, and it's kind of a short hallway, and then you have to turn right to get to the exit and entrance of the museum. But when I tell you this felt like the longest hallway in the world, I'm telling you it felt like the longest hallway in the world. So I start speed walking down the hallway, and suddenly this energy that felt like was following me felt like it was literally standing in mine. It felt like something was standing in my energy. Like, I came over with somehow even more fear than I was already feeling, and start full on sprinting, about nearly falling over, like flying down these hallways. I'm literally just like flying towards the exit. And I get up to my mom, and she's like, oh my God, are you okay? I was literally like, thank God that's over. And then I get home, and some weird happened at my house. Some weird stuff happened at my house. And mind you, I've had paranormal experiences before. I have had things whisper in my ear. I have had weird experiences, but nothing made me scared like this. Nothing in my life. And I've been through cancer and like a lot of other things, and this truly is the scariest thing that's ever happened to me. But if you want a part 2, let me know.
I have gotten so many comments about asking for another horror story. If you are watching this at nighttime, I would save it for later or watch at your own risk. Again, if you don't believe in paranormal activity, just scroll past this video because I'm not gonna argue with anyone in the comments. I don't know if you guys have watched this video yet, but I'll put a screenshot right here of this haunted, I don't know if it's haunted, but this very weird road that I live right by. Something happens every single time I am on that road. Last night I had work and I decided to take that road home, that specific road home. Immediately regretted it because it was almost midnight. I had this weird, eerie feeling that I, was about to, freak the fuck out because, I was already, a mile deep into this road. I had no choice, so I had to keep going. And I just felt like there was, a presence or someone in the car with me. And I had just had a nightmare about I forgot to lock my doors at night and I got out of work, or it was practice, one of the two, and there was someone in my car. So it was kind of freaking me out, but turned my flashlight on, turned around, there was no one behind me. Kept driving, and I just kept having this gut feeling to look behind me because I was so freaking scared. And one time that I looked behind me, I saw a head, a face. It wasn't even a head, it was just a face staring at me. It was not in the back seat, it was in the trunk between the head seat and the wall of the car. I shot my head back and grabbed my flashlight, turned it on, and there was obviously nothing there. But I was also so scared of, when I was looking back, I was going to turn around and there was going to be, someone in front of my car, and then, I swerve off the road and... But that was just... I was being dramatic, okay? I was, that's how scared I was. I was thinking of the worst things possible that you could ever think of because I was genuinely just so fucking scared. It was so bad. I don't know, something about that night was just freaking me the fuck out. My brother got in the car and he was like, something about tonight is so scary. And I was like, Dylan, what the fuck? And then I told him everything that happened. And I was like, I'm not trying to scare you, blah, 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 blah. And the fact that he said that before I even said anything, it's just freaking me out. I was just scared. Got Taco Bell and nothing happened. We were coming back through my subdivision and all of a sudden something gets thrown at our car. Yeah, thrown at our car. And it was almost it was so hard and loud, it felt like something wanted us to stop. And I obviously didn't. I went faster and I turned up our court and I was going so fast. We parked the car. I threw it in park. I was like, okay, Dylan, we're just going to run 3, 2, 1 and we're going to run to the house together. We grabbed our food. I was like 3, 2, 1. We ran in the house and locked it right away. And nothing else happened that night, but then I woke up and I was talking to my mom and my sister about what happened, and I started telling the story, and my mom's like, Megan, and I was like, oh gosh, what? And she was like, I felt something tap me on the shoulder 3 times the other day, and no one was there. And I was like, oh my freaking gosh. And now I'm scaring myself. I'm getting scared. And I was like, wait, were you in the car? And it didn't happen in the car. It happened at my house while she was sitting at the counter. But that just freaked me out so bad. And then my sister was also telling me that when she went upstairs, because our room was in the basement, she said that when she went upstairs, she had a gut feeling that someone was watching her, and she just ran to the bathroom and ran back to her room because something was just so off. She did not like the feeling. And now I'm so scared to drive at night. Even not on the back roads, I always feel like someone is in the car with me. And I don't know if it was because the dream I had or the face I saw, but I don't like the feeling that I get every time I go in the car. Anyways, let me know if you guys want more story times, which you guys probably will because I have not stopped getting comments on multiple videos, more horror story times. So if you guys want some, comment down below and I'll give you guys some more. Thank you guys for watching. I love you guys. Bye.
Let's read some scary and true paranormal stories. I had just turned 22, and my parents had sold their house and purchased a place out in the country. On the property, there was a big shed not far from the house that I decided to turn into my place. Now, I felt kind of uncomfortable in the shed sometimes, but my dog kept me company, so it wasn't so bad. Anyway, I had been in there maybe 2 weeks, and one night I'm on my computer, my dog asleep at my feet, and I need to pee. So I get up to go outside to piss. It's a beautiful clear night and the stars were incredible. Next thing I hear the shed door slam behind me. I turn immediately and try to open it, but it won't budge. Now from inside the shed, I can hear my dog start to growl. Quietly at first, then louder. Now he's barking, and I'm panicking trying to get the door open. I must mention that I'm 6'5" and well-built, play sports, etc., but even ramming my full weight into the door won't open it, and I'm really panicking now as my dog's barks turned into whines, then whimpering, then silence, and with all of my might, I slam into the door, and it flies open. The light is off inside now, and it's pitch black. It won't turn back on, and I am in complete darkness. I can't see my dog anywhere, and I stumble around trying to find a torch. Finally, I find it and pick it up and turn my torch, and I wasn't prepared for what I'd see next. My dog had literally squashed itself into the furthest, darkest corner of the room, eyes closed, and is shaking violently. I immediately moved towards him, and as soon as I got within reach of him, he leapt at me into my arms and wouldn't move. I picked him up, and I swear I've never ran so fast in my life. I have never stepped foot in that shed ever again, and my dog wouldn't even go near that part of the property. About a year ago, I had a terrible nightmare. It started off with me waking up in bed during a thunderstorm. As the room illuminated again and again from the flashes of lightning outside, I realized that the bed I was laying in wasn't mine. The head of the bed was against the wall the door was located on, and from my perspective, I couldn't tell if it was open or closed. That is, until I saw the face. At first, just the nose and jaw broke past the door frame, but then an entire face slowly passed through the doorway. I tried to yell, "Who the fuck are you? Where the fuck am I?" But it felt like I had lost my voice. No matter how hard I tried to scream, nothing came out, and this person continued to enter the room, looking dead ahead, away from me. Then, just as the person was completely into the room, their head snapped towards me, and it locked eyes with mine. I tried to get out of the bed but felt completely paralyzed. The person started making their way to me, but with every step, their body contorted in ways that would break a normal person's bones. Their neck snapped so the back of their head touched their back. Their jaw laid flat on their chest. Their arms had broken at the shoulders and migrated to their back like wings. Just terrifying. And just before they reached me, I woke up. The next day, I told my mom about it and went into great detail about the room. Turns out it was almost an exact copy of my room when I was a baby. We moved out of that house when I was super young. Like, I have no idea what the inside to any room looks like. Just kind of weird, I guess. I was wide awake for my story. I went to school at a college that used to be a convent for nuns. So it was a very old building with a clock tower and everything. Lots of history at this site. Anyway, I was working campus security to make extra money, and I was doing the nightly walk through one of the main buildings when I found 2 students inside one of the classrooms getting naughty. Awkwardly, I had to ask them to leave as it's part of my job, so I gave them a few minutes of privacy to get changed. I was standing outside the door to the classroom waiting for them when I heard the girl let out the loudest scream. I quickly popped my head into the door, and only to be met with them running through the doorway. After a split second of being startled by them almost running into me, I saw why they were running. Inside of the classroom, there were 3 figures standing a few feet away from each other. Each figure looked like a man, but ridiculously large. I would say around 8 feet tall and super muscular. One was all red, one was all purple, and one was all black. They were nude, but they had no sex organs. Almost like a giant Ken doll, but very scary. The figures were just standing there. They never acknowledged me or even really moved. I didn't stick around very long to see if they were going to move either. I ran to the front of the building, and the couple was already outside. I confirmed with them what they saw, and it was the same as me. I called my boss, who was a retired cop, and another security guard came to the building, and we went back into the room, and they were gone. To this day, this story still gives me goosebumps, and I have no idea what I saw. I wrote this to see if anyone had seen anything like what I saw. Last one almost sounds like aliens to me. Or maybe those are just like really freaky spirits. But I could see why that would be very unsettling and scary to see.
Story time on how my friend's house got broken into while we were all there. That was in the middle of the forest on a lake. Like, literally, like a scary movie. So, there's 8 of us, 8 of my friends going to my friend's house with no parents. It's just 8 16-year-olds going to this house. So, I freshly have my license. I'm driving there. It's an hour away from my house. It's probably like 7. I'm driving there, and I get close to our house, and it's in the middle of buttfuck nowhere. Like, when I say I have no service, I'm driving in the middle of trees and dirt paths. Like, I'm shitting myself. So I'm crying because I get lost 30 times. I finally find her house. This is very crucial. Let me set the scene for you. I get there. It is literally like a scary movie, guys. It's in the middle of the forest. It's like a glass house. You can see into it, and it's unfurnished on the inside. Like, it has a couch and a bed. That's it. And it has like a sauna in the main bathroom and like a big ass basement. Everyone finally gets there and we're talking, and the whole night we're having fun, but it's like eerie vibes. We're like, who would die first in a scary movie? Like, all these hypothetical things. Not thinking anything of it, of course. Long story short, I'm sleeping in the main bedroom where everyone was hanging out. I'm sleeping. I have one friend next to me and another friend next to me. Everyone else is outside in the living room. There's a glass window and the couch is underneath it. And they were being so loud out there. They weren't sleeping, and I was just used to it. And all of a sudden I hear screaming at the top of their fucking lungs. And I thought they were just fucking around, so I got up and I was like, shut the fuck up, like, you guys are so loud. One of my friends is like the most nonchalant person ever. She's like, whatever. She comes sprinting full speed with the like most scared look I've ever seen in my life. And everyone is sprinting after her. People are like falling, and I was like, what is happening? So I get my ass up, I jump in the bathroom, I drag my friends in with me. Everyone gets into the bathroom except 2 people. I'll get to that in a second. And we lock that shit. And I still think they're joking, and so I'm not really fazed until I look over and my friend Lucy is on the phone with 911. Keep in mind, I still don't know what is happening. People are crying and shaking, and so I was like, okay, so this isn't a joke, so I start freaking the fuck out too. And then they're like, someone's outside, and I was like, what the fuck do you mean someone's outside? Like, who's outside? And then they're like, where's Chase and Maddie? That's 2 of our friends. Where's Chase and Maddie? Where's Chase and Maddie? We all start freaking out. We're like, oh my god, they fucking died. Like the guy got him. Like, what? And all the doors are unlocked. All of them. What had happened is they were laying on the couch. My friend gets up, and there's a man in all black with a fucking witch mask on his face. I get chills talking about this. A witch mask on his face. And he's crouched down, like, at the seal of the window. And my friend saw him, and she was like, guys, I'm laughing because it's funny now, but it's not funny. And that's when they all came screaming. And he got up, and apparently he was this big fucking guy. He started banging on the window while they were all running. And Maddie and Chase was locking the basement door. He went all the way down to the basement. That was pitch black. Locked the door. Maddie was at the front door banging back at the guy. The guy was banging on the front door now. He went around. Maddie's banging back at him, trying to lock the door, which they're crazy for that. Like, God bless both of them. This house has, like, so many doors. Like, everything is unlocked. All the windows are unlocked. This is, like, 4 minutes, so let me know if you guys want a part 2.
Story time of how me and my best friend almost got kidnapped in middle school. A heartwarming story. Actually, not heartwarming. The only thing hot was my head after the story because it stressed me out. Let's get into it. So we got a Throwback Thursday on our hands. Middle school, the time of me doing anything and everything and not making sense with my outfits. A time to be kidnapped, right? I've given a lot of lore from my middle school time. Nothing I did makes sense. Like, not a single thing through 6th grade to 8th grade, but I was still there and I was still chirping and louder than ever with a fucking friend group, okay? Now, once again, middle school was a weird time for me because it was a middle period, and I feel like for everybody. So it's in that transition period from elementary school to high school, right? So you're kind of just sitting there. You can't drink yet, can't really do much. You're kind of trying to find yourself, right? Which is exactly what I did, but I found myself in a crazy ass way. At least for my area in middle school, there wasn't really much to do. That was the fucking problem, right? There was a lot of drama to be into, but there wasn't really much to do after school because, once again, you're not going to the bars. You're not really going to parties, but you are going to parties, but they're pizza parties. But also, all you want to do is actually party. So you're kind of just sitting there scratching your head like, I don't want to eat a cheese pizza. I want to eat a Four Loko. But you can't eat a Four Loko. It's not appropriate. It's middle school, right? As I said in my previous story times, I had a little ass friend group, right? By little, it actually had about 10 to fucking 15 people in it. Now, once again, at this age, I can't imagine being in a room with 15 people that all like me at the same time. Very strange for me, but kind of cool, right? So in this friend group, we would all have massive group hangouts every single weekend, but because the group was so fucking big, it would kind of get broken off into different groups sometimes. So like, it'd be sometimes the whole 15 hanging out, sometimes 8, sometimes 6, and then sometimes one-on-one, right? Like a personal date. I don't know. Like, it felt like a Love Island villa. Now, with this group, I was pretty much close with every single person in the group, but then there were selected people in the group that I knew for longer than other people in the group, as every group kind of works. Yeah. For this story, we're going to call the main character with me, my best friend at the time, Extension Cord. Why am I calling her Extension Cord? Because I'm staring at one right now, and we were both dumb like extension cords, right? Extension cords don't have any thoughts. That's how we were back in the time, okay? Specifically, me and Extension Cord, we knew each other since, I want to say, like, 5 or 6 years old. Like, we were locked the fuck in, okay? It was one of those friendships that it was, like, family friends turned into, okay, now we're actually best friends. Like, our parents don't need to push us together and say, okay, go jump on the trampoline. Like, now we actually want to go do things on our own, right? We want to go to the movie theater by ourselves. Okay, perfect. Now, I knew Extension Cord for so fucking long, and then in middle school, we became a group with a bunch of people, but once again, me and Extension Cord were both in this friend group, and we were closer than fucking ever. We loved each other. That was my girl, right? Still friends with Extension Cord to this day. And once again, the way the dynamic would work in this friend group is when we would have these massive ass hangouts, right? Like oral farming or whatever the fuck we do, little rituals, they would mainly be in her basement, right? Her house was one of the hangout spots. Now, every single weekend, it'd either be the whole group hanging out or partials of the group, or 2 people, 3 people, 4 people, bluefish, redfish, knuckle sandwich fish. I don't know. It was just different groupings of people. But when I was in middle school, I was at my brokest, but I also did the fucking most. And once again, there wasn't much to do in middle school, so we would just all randomly hit each other up and be like, okay, what dog park are we going to? Or who wants to go to Chick-fil-A today? Like, I got $20 for my dad. Come on, I'll pay for your chicken sandwiches. So this specific weekend, I want to say it was nearing Black Friday, but it wasn't exactly Black Friday, right? It was a time that it was winter. I want to say it was the weekend before Black Friday, okay? I think either I texted in the group chat. Yeah, I definitely did, because I was the nosiest one. I always wanted to do something. And I was like, all right, y'all. It's Friday. Don't make me, I don't know, walk around my neighborhood alone. Come on, who wants to hang out? I remember particularly this weekend, everybody was pretty much busy, right? Like, this is back, once again, we're pipsqueak. So people are going on fucking trips with their family. It's all paid for back in the day. People are, I don't fucking know, doing homework. But people in my group didn't really do homework, so that was probably just a stupid-ass excuse. People were sick because it was winter. Just everybody had something to do. But me and Extension Cord, we never really had shit to do, right? Like, we were always just down to rumble. We always just wanted a picture for Snapchat. So I remember I texted in the group chat and I was like, all right, like, what are we doing? And people start rolling it with the excuses like, oh my gosh, like, my goldfish just fell upside down. Like, I have to spend the whole weekend dealing with that. Suddenly, people's guinea pigs have gotten eaten by wild coyotes. Like, everyone's dealing with a different battle, right? And I remember Extension Cord texted me privately, and Extension Cord was like, I'm bored as shit this weekend. Let's rumble. Okay, Extension Cord. Now, we didn't have the whole group. It literally was just me and Extension Cord here. So we're like, whatever will we fucking do? Because, yeah, we can go hang out in your basement, but, like, that's more cool when it's, like, you know, Kate plus 8, we got about 20 people. It's just me and you. So what will we do, right? Another issue at the time, because I want to say this was about, like, 7th, 8th grade, nobody can fucking drive in my group. If somebody could drive in the group, that would be very dangerous, right? Probably a Mario Kart kind of moment. So we're like, okay, if we want to do something outside of the house, we got to plan the whole who's going to drive us, who's going to... Now, Extension Cord was in a good-ass mood this weekend. Extension Cord was like, okay, like, my mom can take us wherever the fuck we want to go. Let's pick. Now, I love Extension Cord's family. Oh my gosh. Once again, we're family friends. So I'm like, your mom can take us wherever? I love your mom. You know what? Let's be in the car with her. I just want to go on a fucking drive. Now, you would think the rare time that a parent is offering to drive us somewhere that we would have a whole plan. We'd be like, okay, let's go do this. Come on, it's wintertime. Let's go to the pumpkin patch. Let's go to a scare off. I immediately went to, let's go to the local mall. And she was on the same wavelength. Like, she was like, yeah, let's go to the mall. Like, let's literally just walk around the mall, like, ominously. Like, my mom can drop us off. She can pick us back up. Like, let's fucking do it. And I'm so excited at this point. Because I'm like, you know what? I haven't been in the mall in so long. Last time I was at the mall was about a year ago with my family. And I was crying the whole time because I wanted to go home, right? I was so full on free sample. We plan it. We're like, all right, Saturday, like, we'll get dropped at the mall around, like, 12 p.m. And then we'll get picked up at 4 p.m. Like, this is such, like, middle school lore. Like, I was looking forward to it. I was like, oh, like, I'm going to the mall. Like, literally a bum and a fucking loser, but it's kind of cute at this point because it's like, oh, like, I was so innocent. Like, now I go to the bar and I roll my eyes because I do it every weekend. The mall was just something cool. Before malls were dead, of course. So anyways, we planned for Saturday. Saturday fucking hits. It hits around 12 o'clock. I'm sitting at home. I'm all excited. I'm in my cute, like, I'm in fucking jeans, a cute jacket and everything for the fucking mall, the local mall, okay? I'm sitting outside my house. I'm looking at my watch. I'm like, okay, I'm excited for the mall. You know, I got my little wallet with $10 in it. Like, I got nothing but a fucking dream. And all of a a sudden, we got extension cord and extension cord's birth giver pulling up to my house, right? I get in the car, extension cord's like, hey. Extension cord's mom's like, hey. And I'm like, oh, like, once again, extension cord's mom was just such a cool mom. I fucking love her. She still is a cool mom. I love him so much. I get in the car. Once again, the mall's very, very close to my house. So I'm like, I just want to be in the car longer, right? I just want to feel free. But I blink and we spawn at the mall, okay? Now, once again, malls are becoming dead at this point, but they're not fully dead because I'm in middle school. So they're still kind of lively. And I'm like, okay, like, wonder who we'll see at the mall. Like, I'm so excited. We go to the mall. It's kind of like Extension Cord's mom setting off to war. And keep in mind, in our group, Extension Cord's mom probably knew that me and Extension Cord were, like, the worst influences out of the group. We're both very easily susceptible. I guess that's the word, right? Like, somebody comes up to us and they're like, the sky's green today. Can you look up and see the sky? And we both look up and be like, huh, like, it does have a hint of green. Like, keep in mind, like, bitch, she's baby fucking blue. But, like, we're thinking that it's green. Like, two dumb bitches that don't need to go out together, but we are. So I think she had that kind of little bit of worry. And she was like, please be safe, guys. Like, there's nobody else in your group. Like, please be aware. We both look at each other. We look at Extension Cord's mom, and we're like, of course. We got all our safety manuals. At this point, all that's going through my head is unsafe, unsafe. What can we do for Snapchat? I'm so excited. I'm like an AI-generated unsafe individual, okay? Get out of the car. The second the door closes and she drives off in her cute little Jeep, we both look at each other and we say, let's go to Bath & Body Works. We waddle into the mall like two Club Penguin characters, and we immediately start planning our day. We're like, okay, like, we're going to be here for about 4 hours. We got to, we can get lunch at this point. Like, I don't know. It was just like a taste of freedom, right? Now, once again, it's a Saturday during the day, but I remember for this specific day, it just was not fucking busy at all when normally it would be busy. Like, it was pretty much dead, and it was eerily dead at the mall. Like, was there something I didn't know? Maybe it was a nice day outside. I'm not sure, but nobody was really in the mall this day. Like, food court, empty. That was our first time. We walked into the food court, desolate. And I'm like, okay. Wandering around the food court, then all of a sudden we're like, okay, wait, we're getting distracted by free samples right now. We buttered ourselves up with 4 free samples, and we were like, Bath & Body Works time. So to get the Bath & Body Works from where we were, you have to go downstairs. We're like, okay, like, we got to find the escalator. Like, we're just so excited, right? We're young and dumb at the fucking local mall. Now, we're going to find the escalator, but I remember the escalators were down this day. So we're like, okay, like, we got to take the stairs. And the stairs are in, like, how do I describe this? Desolate parts of the mall. Like, the way my mall is, at least, it's a very small mall, and each, like, staircase is on the other, like, there's one on one side of the mall, and there's one on, it has to be a safety hazard. But basically, to walk to the stairs, you're going to be, excluded from the rest of the mall, okay? It's, like, isolated. There's no one really ever by the stairs. I guess now that there's an escalator closed, that there should be people, but there was nobody, okay? And there never really was anybody, and they're both at ends of the mall where stores are, like, shut down. Like, they're just empty stores. So no one really has a reason to be over there. Everyone just uses the escalator. Regardless, we're like, okay, like, escalator's closed. Like, let's go to the stairs. Like, we're excited, whatever. Once again, the mall is desolate this day, and then we're going near the isolated ass parts of the mall where there really is nobody even on the busy days, right? Because there's just 4 closed ass stores there. Perfect, let's go. We're going la 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 la, we're excited, we're walking, we're talking about the newest drama in our fucking group, just anything under the sun, right? Our favorite TV shows, we have a taste of freedom. We're walking over to the stairs, Club Penguin's down. All of a sudden, I hear a scream. And this isn't a normal scream. This was a scream of pain, agony, and scaredness. Oh, I'm almost at 10 minutes. Okay, next part. I promise it gets actually insane. We're wrapping it up. You don't want to miss it. Hold on. Part 2 out in a second.